Hey there, welcome back to Carnivore Confidential. I'm Dougie the Butcher. I promised you last week when I made beef back ribs on a cedar plank that I was going to share my beef soup recipe with you. So that's what we're going to do today. And again, I'm not a chef, but I do like to cook, and these bones make an awesome pot of soup. So come on back. I will get started and show you what we're up to today. Thanks for coming by. All right, so let's get after this. What I have here is some boiling water that I've already dissolved some beef bouillon in to get us started on our stock, and the rest of the flavor is going to come from the smoked beef bones. I've also got some celery stalks, and I'm just going to throw them in there because this is all just to build my flavor base. I'm just going to rough cut this onion. Basically, all I really want to do is cut it in half. I'm going to leave the skins on it and everything because the skins provide some color for the soup stock as well. And again, rough cut the carrots. These aren't going to be part. They're going to be part of the base for the soup. And I'm going to strain them all out afterwards and pick the meat off the bones after they've been stewing in the broth for a while. So let's get after it. I gotta stop saying that. Let's get busy. Let's get doing something. All right. And I know this isn't really a cooking show, but I promised you that I was going to make some. I said I was going to make some beef soup, beef and barley vegetable soup from the smoked bones that we did in the last video. And that's what we're going to do. And I also said in the beginning video that I was going to share some recipes with you. So I'm not a chef, but I do make a pretty good pot of soup. So again, let's throw all this stuff in the pot and get the heat on, and we'll come back and check on it in a couple hours. So here we go. This is very hot, so I don't want to. All right. And as you can tell, I've got a couple of very interested pooches because they've already smelled the bones. Yeah. And these beef bones, if you recall last week, all I had on them was rosemary and salt. And see, there's a bit of rosemary here, so I'm going to throw that in there as well. Okay, you can lick the plate. And all my rough cut veggies are going to go in. Just like so, skin and all. Skin and all on the onions, that is. And celery stalks. And I forgot something. And I forgot bay leaves. So we're going to add a couple of those. A couple of bay leaves. And peppercorns, black peppercorns. Just a little handful. As you can tell, I'm not measuring anything, so I'm just flying by the seat of my pants. It's worked out for me in the past. All right, so like I said, I'm going to turn this on high, get it boiling, and then turn it down to a simmer. And we'll bring you back for that and see how it's coming along. Thanks for hanging out, folks. All right, we're an hour or so into this, but I'll tell you what, not many things smell better than a pot of beef stock about to become beef soup, and it just fills the house with an amazing smell. All right, back later. Like I said yesterday, we boiled off these beef bones, made some amazing stock. I refrigerated both overnight, and I've taken it out of the fridge now. I've skimmed the fat. You didn't need to see that. It's not, like I said, it's not a cooking video. I'm just showing you how I did this because I promised I would. But because the beef bones, the meat on the bones was cold, it's a little more difficult to take it off the bones. So I put it in the microwave for a few seconds, and now it's real hot, so I'm wearing gloves. But let's get busy. So I've got the stock. I've got about 3/4 cup of barley. Love barley in beef soup. I've already rinsed it, so it's a little bit damp. I've got celery, carrots, and onions that I'm going to pulse in this little food processor to go along with my soup. I'm going to pull the meat off the bones, get it on the stove, and that's pretty much a wrap. So I don't know how much of this, everybody's seen this stuff before, but I'm just going to, pulse this in my little food processor. I don't want to turn it into mush, but I do want to chop it finely. So a little chop. And that's going to be the vegetable portion of the soup, which is going to go in the pot. And the meat is going to come off the bones, which, as you can see, real easily done. I've got a couple of pooches right there. I'm sure you can see. One of them's probably drooling. Mama always drools. And I'm glad I'm wearing gloves because this is quite hot. So, get my meat over here. I've already, as you recall, I already took the membrane off the back, but there's another little bit of a membrane. As you can see, and there's that little membrane I was telling you about, right there, that is going to be a little treat for my pooches. And I'm just going to roughly pull this apart. There's another membrane. Roughly pull this apart for the soup. Doesn't really need to be chopped because it's just that tender. Yeah, I know, you guys see it and smell it, don't you? You can see it and smell it. I know a lot of people would give these to the dogs. I don't, again, because I indicated before, I think in a previous video, that they've got really sensitive stomachs. And we have tried giving them bones like this before with pretty much disastrous results because they throw them up. My wife and I were camping years ago, and we had a T-bone for dinner on the barbecue while we were camping, and we gave our pooch at the time, another Doberman, the bone to chew on for the evening. And little did we know that she pretty much ingested the majority of the bone, and we woke up in the middle of the night to a dog retching on our sleeping bags, of course, and that'll wake you up in a hurry, let me tell you. The sound of a dog retching in the middle of the night. Anyway, she threw up the remains of the bone, and that wasn't fun. Okay, here you go. Oh, look at the drooly monster. Okay, there you go. Now, just get out of these. Well, like I said, I'm glad I was wearing those because they were very hot. I need my... Come back in a second. All right, I forgot to get my pot out. Yes, I have more treats for you guys right there. All right, pot on the stove. Broth and meat in the pot. Bowl for you guys. Barley, already pre-washed. A little bit chunky now because it was damp and it's lumping together a bit, but that's okay. Barley in. Vegetables. Get rid of this. In spatula. Now I know some of you would wonder why I didn't preheat the broth, because I strained it, and it's really difficult to get the fat off. Well, the fat will melt back into the broth again, and then I can't strain it. So you strain it when it's cold, and that's the way I'm starting. So any chefs out there that have a problem with that, I told you before, I'm not a chef. All right, so that's it. In a nutshell, beef soup made from smoked beef bones that we did on barbecue on a cedar plank, the last video. Promised you soup. That's what I did. That's what I wanted to make. That's what I have made. Hang on a second. Okay, you guys have already got that. And that's pretty much it, folks. Smoked beef barley soup, vegetable beef barley soup. Thanks very much for watching. Thanks very much for coming back. Please like and subscribe to my new channel. I'm Dougie the Butcher. This is Carnivore Confidential. Really appreciate your support. If you look right down there in that corner of the video, you see the little my logo, the icon, my logo for Carnivore Confidential. If you hover over that with your mouse, that's where you subscribe to my channel. So just click that, please, and we'll see you next Thursday with another video. Thanks very much for watching, and stay hungry, carnivores.